Okay, you totally floored me. That was the funniest thing I've seen yet on my channel from a guest.
Okay, I hope you keep it in.
Did you push record?
Thank you so much for tuning in to Second Act TV. Today I am so happy to welcome back divorce and family law attorney Jonathan Noble. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining me again.
My pleasure, Silka. Anytime. Always a pleasure.
I loved having you on. We'll link to our previous segments where we talked about online dating through the lens of a divorce attorney. You might be surprised what Jonathan came up with. Our viewers loved you. So I really look forward to our segment today, which is
Thanks.
about dating. You sent an article to me. It's entitled Dating Over 50. Here's everything you need to know. And this is the kind of information that goes out to people, and we want to talk about that. They
You
said
bet.
they talked to a sociologist, a dating app tech guru, single men and women, a matchmaker about best practices. Who they missed is Jonathan Noble, divorce attorney. So let's talk about that, Jonathan.
Let's dig in and chop this up, Silka, and see if we can help somebody gain a better understanding about this dating over 50 thing. It's not as hard as people are making it out to be. And just based on all the comments that you get on your great videos, let's dig out that pain point and see, really go down the rabbit hole, find out what's going on. It's not that hard.
Yeah, no, I
So
love it. I love it. The first point. Think about what you want. Well, yeah, on the surface that sounds great. The recommendations in it is where you might steer somebody the wrong way again, and that is, and I'll throw it over to you, to have five qualities. Make a list, and the list is what I have the issue with, of five things you want and five things you don't want. Let me get your take on that.
yeah, Silka, a lot of people are armchair quarterbacks in their own life and they want all they want. But if you're not the best version of yourself, you're not going to attract that. You have this hope strategy. So do you think that I could just sit here and say, hey, I want a tall, beautiful, athletic, fun, playful woman without being able to attract that? Probably not. So it just doesn't come by accident. What happens is these people just don't appear in my life.
You are
You
such a
can't just
character.
play. You can't just play music and have these people show up. So here's the reality: you've got to do the work on your own, and then go out and venture out. Now you've had a ton of great guests that have given really terrific advice. Do that work, and then put yourself out there. Okay, don't put the cart before the horse. What's the rush? All right, if that's really what you want, do the work. That's what you'll attract. It's like the law of attraction. This is not new. Okay.
Okay, you totally floored me. That was the funniest thing I've seen yet on my channel from a guest.
Okay, I hope you keep it in.
Did I tell everybody that he's quite the character?
Well, and that wasn't even scripted. I don't know who that lady is.
Yeah.
She just kind of showed up when I started a little music. They're saying in the article, these must-haves, out the door with the must-haves. Okay, which brings me to another point. Sometimes people are stuck in their old paradigms. What would be so terrible if you explore dating someone who maybe speaks French or Italian as their first language? You don't need to date somebody just like you. And I have found in my own life, it works best. I don't want to date myself. I want that diversity. I want to have more energy around things that I may not be familiar with. And stop with well, they're this political party and I'm that political party and I don't want to date someone, or, that is like all kinds of crazy things people will use to divide themselves. They're their own worst enemy. So keep an open mind. And if you're the best version of yourself, you'll probably attract what you want.
I totally agree. I think the list can work against you. I think that yeah, you can be your own worst enemy. You can, yes. Do you need to know what you want? Sure, but give that person a chance. You're cutting off way too many people at the beginning if you have some strict list. So that was my big input that I wanted to leave on this, and I think we agree on that. The second one, I had not heard this actually. Rehearse your meet-up banter. Really?
Right. What are you going to do? Stand in front of a mirror with a hairbrush and like try to be, because they're saying that most comedians do that, like
Yes.
a tight five to warm up the audience. I disagree. Maybe it's just me and we're all different. Okay. But I don't get nervous or didn't get nervous before dates. You got to get comfortable in your own skin. Nothing rehearsed, it's going to come across as rehearsed. So, where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? You don't want that. Just relax. Just relax, okay? I put everybody at ease as much as humanly possible. No one's above me or below me. We're all people. We all kind of want the same things. So just try to go in with that spirit and no rehearsing. It just doesn't bode well.
Yeah, my take on that, and I totally recognize that some people do get nervous. I got nervous going on date, not terribly, but there's always a little bit of an anxiety. I recognize, and some people have a lot of anxiety and they can't talk easily. I get that. I personally think if you have like you've rehearsed stories, now you're going to worry about screwing that up.
Right, right. I mean,
And I don't think, I think the best piece of advice you can give there is listen, ask questions, and share in the conversation, and don't talk too much.
yeah, that's certainly true. When it flows. When it doesn't flow, and it could be a numbers game. You're not going to get along famously with everyone. The other thing that I brought into my experience was I never really knew what somebody's backstory was. Maybe they had unhealed trauma in their life, so you don't know. So you want to just sort of give them the benefit of the doubt and don't no pressure. I'm here to find out about you and vice versa. Let's keep it low key and hopefully there'll be some connection.
Yeah. The next 2 points are kind of obvious. I don't know how much we actually want to say about it. I can't wait to see what you have to say. But make friends with technology. That's online dating.
Yeah. Well, there's new apps. I haven't been online since August of 2019, but at that time, it was a way to meet a lot of people in a short period of time. I think you call it a man catalog, and that's kind of what it is. It's a woman catalog, man catalog. So if you're not friendly with technology, I think everybody's got a phone, pretty much everybody, and it's not hard to swipe, but you don't want it to be a time suck either. So my learning curve was very short, very steep. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. And, I have a few ideas how they could improve the apps, but it's all about them trying to keep you on there for as long as possible and you buying premium services, which I never did. But it's you have to know what your goal should be to get off, hopefully. And not everyone has that goal. A lot of people use it for validation. They're lonely. They live in a very rural area where there's not a lot of people to choose from. So it can be a problem.
I
So
think that's you brought up a really good point, and that is that the apps are designed to keep you on. They're really not designed to get you off and get you out there dating. They encourage more choices, more. It can be really work against you. And I'm not downplaying it totally, because I do think online dating is a good thing if you do it right. But that's I think that's something new people, especially, and that's who we're talking to today, need to know.
right. Yeah. I mean, you really have to figure out how the system works and how to best use it to leverage what you want. And if you don't, you're just going to be swiping, texting. Who's got time for that?
Right.
So,
Their next point is think outside the app too. Well, yeah. What I mean, yeah, of course. What do you have to add on that?
well, I can tell you that in the last few years, women have got really aggressive. Sometimes, if I'm at the courthouse on my way home, I'll stop at the supermarket and I'm in a dark suit. I'm weighing my vegetables because there's like a scale that spits out a label with a barcode and the weight of my, organic green chard or whatever I'm eating. And someone, a woman will come up, hey, that's a great tie, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. So obviously they're thinking outside the app, and I don't see anything wrong with that. The beauty of thinking outside the app is you're face to face in the flesh with another person. Whereas the apps, with the right light and a little bit of Photoshop, people can just shave off 50 pounds. If you're in person, do it the old fashioned way if possible. There's a lot of information out there on meetup groups, but you could just be in regular life pumping gas, and someone attractive or you find attractive, you could talk to them. You're not stalking them. You're not doing anything unacceptable. Just saying, hi, how are you? And if a conversation starts, great. If this is not in your personality, work hard to try and break out of that shell. Some of the most fun, playful, beautiful women I know are shy. You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah. No, I know that's hard. That's difficult for people too. But that, especially the grocery store example, great example. That is a great way to start a conversation. That doesn't, it doesn't need to get awkward, or you can get out of it right away because you're just vegetables.
Right. Yeah.
Consider a matchmaker. Yeah, we just did a segment on that. But I think that's very. What's the word I'm looking for?
The word you're looking for is it's for a certain financial demographic, because the last time I looked, matchmakers don't work for free. So there is a cost involved. Now, the guest that you had on, I did watch that video and I was really intrigued by it. I wish I could have. Can we call her up right now? Her name's April Meyer.
April is fabulous. Yeah.
Mad respect for what she does. Can you imagine trying to go find somebody, for someone who pays you sight unseen, and get them together? But I do have a couple of questions for her that I'm dying to ask. So if you're watching this, April, one of my questions is, do your clients require a prenup? And does she bring it up to a prospective woman when vetting for her man clients? Will she be the one that brings that up if the man is very wealthy? Now, that's a lawyer kind of thought process, but I'm dying to know who asks when you're vetting, or do they wait for them to fall in love and then he has to do it?
I'll ask April. I'll be talking to her soon.
Yeah, or leave it in the comments, April, if you're watching this. But mad respect for what you do. That's one of the hardest jobs I can imagine. So
yeah, there's a lot to learn about matchmaking and finding the right one. All right, the next point, Jonathan: be upfront about sex.
Right. Well, that's a great question. Now, as someone who's over 50, it's not like I was 18 and that's like on the forefront of my mind all the time, and my hormones are bouncing all over the place, and it's all you think about when you're a teenager. But it's still an important aspect of a human connection. People like human touch. They want to feel connected. Don't forget, I see a lot of people in a divorce practice who are coming out of a sexless marriage. So, it could be 10 years since they've had intimacy with someone. What a shame to burn that kind of time. You want to know if you are compatible sexually. It's all about communication, but your timing has to be right so you don't come across as someone who's one-track minded or creepy. But hopefully your partner wants to know what makes you happy in bed and vice versa. So this is not news, and it's certainly very important. So it's an important part of the whole dynamic. I'll say that. But the timing has to be right to talk about it.
I agree. It's not after 50. It's not on everybody. Not right here.
Right. You could still have amazing sex and great intimacy. You could have the best sex of your life if you guys are taking care of each other and taking care of yourself. So it's an important component to any relationship. It shouldn't be put on the back burner.
Yeah. This is a good point, I think. Have a feel-good date look ready, meaning think ahead. What makes you feel good that you put on, and what? I kind of did that. I do that all the time. I know what I feel good in and wear that. So that's good advice. What do you think?
I think as a man who likes to dress down when he's not working, it can cut both ways. I'm the ripped jeans guy when I'm not working. and that makes me feel good. But is it appropriate on a first date? Second date, maybe, because why not be comfortable? But anything that makes you feel good about yourself, wear it. Wear it as long as it's appropriate, and you think that that really presents you in the best possible light. Now, remember, it's not a job interview. You're just seeing if you guys click. Low key, let's get together. No pressure. That's the way I would approach it.
That's such an interesting point you bring up, and you cued me back to when I was online dating. I usually wore jeans and my favorite T-shirt, and I thought I looked good in that, a little heel.
Yeah. No,
but I never even considered dressing up. And I probably turned some guys off, but that's okay. But then I would not meet or agree to meet somewhere that I wasn't comfortable. I didn't want to go to some fancy restaurant on a first date anyway. So I mean, I think so. Maybe that's a component of it too. Think about where
right.
you.
That first date is critical, and we're going to talk about that. I have a list of things that we need to talk about on a red flag segment on a first date.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, look good, feel good, and if you're down in the dumps and getting dressed and putting yourself together is important to you, do that. Do that. Simple. You'll emit this terrific vibe, which is what you want to do.
Exactly, exactly. And then in closing, build your resiliency muscle. That is really good advice. And what they mean there is get ready for rejection. That especially if you're online dating.
Yeah, I mean, that whole online dating thing, if you don't have resiliency, you're finished before you even start. So as long as you can calibrate your mindset and realize not everyone's going to be for you, you're going to have a much better time of it. So resiliency in life, is important. You get knocked down 9 times, get up 10. But there's a tactful way that people need to treat each other if there's no magic from one or both people. You don't have to be mean about it. You could just say, look, I'm not feeling it, or let's just be friends. But I've told women, let's just be friends. And I have enough friends. I don't want more friends. I'm like, okay, that's you. That's fine. Don't carry that to the next meeting either.
Right. Right,
Don't,
exactly.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
So,
No, it is. Not everybody's going to be a match, and you're going to be rejected, quote, rejected, and you're going to reject somebody else. That's just part of it. We've done other videos, I'll link to them, on dealing with dating rejection, especially after 50. So it's an important point, and yes, you make a good point. Just be kind about it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that we did a good job disagreeing with this article, but I would ask people to think and don't take everything at face value. A lot of these dating experts, I'm not putting anybody down, they do great work and they help people build self-esteem, but you're you. No one else is you, and you bring something special to every encounter. So if you're going to start scripting what you say, bad idea, okay? And I will also say, leave a comment, okay, on this video, because I read a lot of the comments on Silka's channel. So engage, subscribe if you got any value out of this. I know you did. And share it. We need to get her over 100,000 viewers, man, 100,000 subscribers. What the heck is wrong with you guys? That's all I got.
Jonathan, you're my best cheerleader.
You don't need me as your cheerleader. You're doing great work, and you're changing lives out there.
I love having you on, and I'm going to sign us off of this segment. I'm going to hold you over to talk about the red flags of dating. Another great topic. We will link to all your information, Jonathan, to your fabulous channel, and I look forward to having you back on Second Act TV.
Thank you, Silka. I look forward to it.
If you haven't already done so, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. The button is right over here. Just click on through to YouTube, and when you see the little bell right next to the subscribe button, hit that too, and we'll notify you every time we launch a new video. See you next time.